Hello everyone. Now we have already seen about two components of fixed partial dentures, that were retainers and connectors. Now moving on towards the last component of it, that is pontic from fixed partial denture. So now this name, that is pontic, it is derived from a Latin word which is known as pons. So pons, it means a bridge, and therefore it is known as a pontic. As your fixed partial denture, it is known as a bridge. Now what is the definition of it? So a pontic, it is an artificial tooth. So over here, this is your edentulous space. So this is the artificial tooth on the fixed dental prosthesis that replaces a missing natural tooth. Now over here there was a natural tooth which was present. So this pontic, it is replacing this natural tooth. It restores its function. Now whatever the function was of that natural tooth, that was mastication, speech or aesthetics, whatever it is. So your pontic, it restores all those functions again, and it usually fills the space which was previously occupied by the clinical crown. So pontic is the one which replaces the natural tooth, it restores its functions, and it fills this edentulous space which was occupied by the clinical crown. So this is the definition which is given by GPT. Now, what are the ideal requirements of the pontic? So first is to restore the function of the replaced tooth. Now in the definition also it says to restore the function of the tooth which is to be replaced. So over here this is the dentulous space. So there was the crown, natural tooth which was present. Now your pontic, it is replacing this space. So it should restore all the function of that natural tooth. Then it should provide aesthetic. Now for example, if your edentulous space, it is present like this, so it will be obviously unaesthetic. So this pontic, it should provide that aesthetic as it is filling that edentulous space. Then it should be biological acceptable. It should not cause any damage to the mucosa or the adjacent tissues which are present, like teeth or tissues which are present. Then it should permit effective oral hygiene. So you should able to maintain the oral hygiene when you are using this pontic. The next one is to preserve the underlying residual ridge and the mucosa. Now over here this is the edentulous space. So now there are chances if the edentulous space is present for a longer time, so there will be resorption of this ridge. So you have to see that whenever you are fabricating a pontic, then it should reserve or it should preserve the underlying residual ridge, and then it should have adequate strength to withstand the occlusal forces. Now you're replacing this area, so it should fulfill all the functions that is of the mastication. So it should have that much strength that your pontic, it should not get fractured when you are applying the occlusal forces on it. So these are the ideal requirements of pontic. Now, what are the classifications of pontics? So pontics, they are classified into three types, that is depending on the mucosal contact. That is how your pontic, it is contacting the mucosa. That means your gingival portion of your pontic, how it is contacting the gingiva. Then the next classification is dependent on the material which is used. And the last one is the type of fabrication, like what is the method of fabrication. So mucosal contact will be with mucosal contact or without mucosal contact. So in which your pontic is touching the mucosa, so that becomes the mucosal contact. So the example for them are ridge, modified ridge, ovate and conical. Now without mucosal is when your pontic is not touching or it is contacting the mucosa. So the examples are sanitary and modified sanitary. And the classification depending on the material, so the material by which you are making that pontic, so it can be all metal, metal ceramic, all ceramic, then it can be metal with resin facing, or it can be fiber reinforced composite pontic. And the third classification is depending on the method of fabrication, whether it is custom made or it is already prefabricated. So starting with the pontic with the mucosal contact. So the first one is a saddle or a ridge lap type of pontic design. Now this pontic, it has this name because of its design. Now it overlaps both the buccal and the lingual surfaces of the ridge. Hence it is called as a ridge lap, as it is overlapping both the surfaces. And it forms a large concave contact with the ridge. The advantage for this saddle is like it is very aesthetically good, but the disadvantage is it is very difficult to clean such type of pontic design, and it can cause gingival inflammation as there is contact of the gingiva with this pontic continuously. So because of this problem, nowadays this saddle or a ridge lap type of pontic, it is not recommended, and to overcome this problem there is a modification which is given, which is known as a modified ridge lap. Now this is known as modified because in this type of pontic design, the pontic, it touches or it contacts the gingiva only on the buccal or the facial surface and not on the lingual surface. Now this is known as a modified because the gingival margin of the pontic, it overlaps only on the buccal surface, and you should see that the design, it should be as convex as possible, whereas we have seen in this one it was concave. Now the recommended location is where aesthetic is of importance. Now you see that this pontic, it is touching on the facial surface, so because of that you can use this in the aesthetic areas, which are the anterior teeth, premolars and some maxillary molars. So the advantages is it is good in aesthetics. The disadvantage is it is moderately easy to clean. Indication is where the aesthetic is of concern. Contraindication is where minimal aesthetic concern it exists, that means your posterior teeth. So you cannot, like, you should not use modified ridge lap where aesthetic is of no importance. And the material, now it is used in the aesthetic area, so the material also it should be used which should fulfill that aesthetic things, that is your metal, ceramic, all resins and all ceramic. And when you're viewing it in gingival aspect, it should appear or it should resemble a letter T. So this modified ridge lap, it should resemble letter T. Now the next one is the ovid type of design. So now there is a convex tissue surface of the ovid pontic which resides within the ridge, and it appears as it is emerging from the ridge. Now over here we have seen that this is a concave type of design, and over here this is a convex, and it appears like this pontic it is emerging from the ridge. So the recommended location is again the highly aesthetic requirement, where it is required, where it is like maxillary incisors, canines and premolars. Their advantages is it has this superior aesthetics, like this is the best one. Then there is negligible food entrapment, and there is easy to clean this ovid type of pontic design with the mucosa contact. Now over the disadvantages are it requires surgical preparation as it is inside this ridge. Then not for the residual ridge defects. So when you see that the residual ridge defects are present, so in that case you cannot go for this ovid one. Indication where aesthetic is of importance, like when there is a high smile line, so in that case also you can go for ovid. Then contraindication is if the patient they are unwilling for the surgery, and when there are residual ridge defects. And again now aesthetic you're using then is the aesthetic areas. So the material which you're using is metal, ceramic, all resins and all ceramic. And the last mucosal one is the conical type of pontic design. So this one is also known as a egg-shaped, bullet-shaped or a heart-shaped type of pontic, and it was described by Tinker in 1918. So now what are the recommended locations? So it is used in molars because now this is very unesthetic. So now you can see over here. So it has this contact, like it has a point contact with the mucosa. So because of this, it is unesthetic. So it is used in the molars where aesthetic is of no importance. The advantage is now when the mucosa contact is reducing, so you have to remember that the cleaning proper, so the hygiene which is to be maintained, it goes on increasing. So this is the thing, like over here now the aesthetic is decreasing, so because of that the oral hygiene thing is increasing. So this becomes the advantage. Now disadvantage is poor aesthetic. Indication it is used in the posterior areas where aesthetic is of no importance. Then contraindication is when the patient they have poor oral hygiene. So in that case you are not giving this conical type of pontic design. And the material is you can use, now it is used in the posterior and unesthetic areas. So you can use all metal also in this case. Then you can use metal, ceramic or resin. So these are the 4 examples for the mucosal contact, where the pontic it touches the mucosa. Now you can see over here in all these 4 design the pontic it is touching the mucosa. The next one is the without the mucosal contact. So in this, now as the name says, it is not touching the mucosa. So the 2 examples for this are the sanitary and the modified sanitary. Now sanitary it is called because of its design which allows easy cleansing, as the tissue surface of the pontic it remains clear of the residual ridge. Now it is also known as a fish belly. Now over here you can see the pontic it is not touching the mucosa, and it is known as a sanitary or hygienic because now you can maintain the oral hygiene in this case, and because of this only, because of its like property, it is known as sanitary type of pontic design. And it is a convex, it is convex in both faciolingually and mesiodistally. So this shape of your pontic it is convex faciolingually also and mesiodistally also. Now the area, so this pontic it should be minimally 3 mm and there should be a gap of 2 mm to maintain that proper oral hygiene. So now what are the like modification, or what are the disadvantage? So disadvantage for this, so you have to remember that when it is without the mucosal contact, so now there's this area which is, or the gap which is present. So because of that, it is poor in aesthetics. So this is a disadvantage for both this like Pontic design, that they are poor in aesthetic, but the advantage is it is very good to clean. So this Pontic designs, they are very good in the terms of oral hygiene. So there is this modification which is given. So the modification is the modified sanitary. So now this is an alternative design in which there is a mesiodistal concavity. Now we have seen in the sanitary, so there is convex in both the sides, that is mesiodistally. So it is convex both mesiodistally and facialingually. But now over here you will see that this design, it is concave mesiodistally. Now over here you can see the difference between this sanitary and modified sanitary. So it is concave mesiodistally now, and it is facialingually convex. So the difference only is in the concavity mesiodistally. Now this design, it provides added strength to the connectors, and at the same time it allows space for easier cleansing. So these are like the disadvantages over the sanitary ones. Now the next classification of Pontic is depending on the material which is used. So it can be metal ceramic. Now metal ceramic is this one where you're using both the things, that is metal and ceramic. So inside you will see that it is made up of metal and you're just applying the ceramic over this metal so that it provides good aesthetic thing. So when it is metal, so you have to remember that with metal goes the strength and with ceramic goes the aesthetic. So in this, it is having both the advantage, that is the strength and the aesthetics. So the advantages are aesthetics, biocompatible, then it has good strength because metal is also incorporated in this type of Pontic and it can be used in all clinical situations. So this metal ceramic is comparatively used in all types because all metal, it has the disadvantage that it cannot be used in aesthetic area, and all ceramic, it has a disadvantage that the cost of this all metal, all ceramic one is very high, and because of this, the most commonly used type of material for the Pontic is the metal ceramic. Now, the disadvantage is if the abutments or if the retainers, they are not made up of metal ceramic, then you cannot go for this metal ceramic for the Pontics also. So you have to see that the retainers also are made up of metal ceramic. Indications is it can be used almost in all the situations, and contraindication is it cannot be used in the long span with the high stresses, because now this has a metal but over it, it also has the ceramic. So there are chances that your Pontic, it can get fractured if there are high stresses. So because of that, it is contraindicated in such cases. The next one is the all metal. Now as the name says, it is made up of all metal. Now this one is the one which is made up of metal. So the advantage is strength. Now as I said, metal is for strength. So if it is made up of metal, then there's the best strength which you'll get for the Pontic, and there's a straightforward procedure, like there's no complicated procedure for the all metal one as you're comparing it with the all ceramic one. The disadvantage is non-aesthetic. The indication is where the aesthetic is of no importance. So it can be used in the mandibular molars which are under high stresses. So the contraindication is where aesthetic is of importance, you cannot use this all metal ones. The next one is the all ceramic. Now all ceramic is this one. So where the Pontic, it is made up of all ceramic. So the advantage in that can be aesthetic, but the disadvantage can be it is of high cost because ceramic is itself a very costly material. So because of that, the disadvantage for all ceramic is high cost, and the next is it is comparatively less in strength because it has no metal. So there are chances that your Pontic, it can break. The indication is where there is aesthetic of importance, and contraindication is it cannot be like you shouldn't use ceramic ones in the posterior, because why you need to invest so much in the posterior where aesthetic is of no importance. The next one is the facings one. So it can be the like Pontic design or the Pontic with the resin facing. So in this you'll see that the metal, they have the resin facings. So here instead of ceramic, acrylic composite resin, it is veneered to the facial and the buccal surface. So in this you'll see that there is a use of a composite or acrylic rather than ceramic. Now ceramic, it is a costly material. So because of that, what you do in this such cases is you apply acrylic or composite only on the facial surfaces for aesthetic. Now this one facings one, the resin facings one, they are rarely used. And the last one is a fiber reinforced composite Pontic. So they are the composite pontic that are fabricated around a resin fiber that provides strength to the prosthesis. So now the disadvantages are conservative with inlay. So you are using this in the conservative procedures, and where aesthetics. So in this, the aesthetics are also good because you're using composites. Then the disadvantages are it is limited to the short span only. You cannot use this in the long span ones. Indication where aesthetics is of importance, and contraindication is it cannot be used in long span areas. So this is the classification depending on the material which is used. And the last classification is depending on the method of fabrication. So it can be custom or it can be prefabricated. So custom one, it is the most commonly used type of fabrication. Now each pontic, it is fabricated according to the patient's ridge contour. So basically we are using this custom type of fabrication method only for the pontics. And the prefabricated ones, they are the commercially available prefabricated porcelain pontic. So in this, the prefabricated, now as the name says, they are already available in the market. So they are used along with the metal backing. So you'll see that this pontic, so now they are commercially available. So this pontics, they have a metal backing. So this depends on the patient's ridge contour. So you have to see the patient's ridge contour and you have to match them, and then you can use this prefabricated one. So the examples for the prefabricated ones are the long pin facing true pontic, reverse pin facing flat back or pontic. So these all are just the examples of a prefabricated one. But now the increased use of custom pontic, so custom made pontics, they have greatly decreased the commercial making of this like prefabricated ones. So mostly the custom made only are used in the method of fabrication of pontic. So this was all about the pontics. Thank you so much.